Yo, what is going on, YouTube? It's your boy Rennie back with another YouTube video. And in today's video, I'm gonna be talking about, I got my notes here like always. I'm gonna be talking about why I think tattoo artists are wrong about numbing cream. So, as you can see, I'm kind of gonna go through some of my tattoos today. My whole right arm is pretty much fucking tatted. I have my collarbone tatted. I have my chest tatted. I have this Rebecca tattoo from Cyberpunk Engine Runners. Shout out to her. I fucking love her as a character. Can't fucking see it. This is Adler from Signalis. If you guys have never played Signalis, please play it. It's a really good game, really good indie game. Especially if you like Silent Hill and Resident Evil and those type of games. But that's a video for another time. But anyways, just to show you guys that I'm fucking tatted and shit, so that, you know what I'm saying, like, I don't get no fucking fraud alert or some, you know, whatever crazy shit. At the end of the day, you know, this is just my opinion. This is just, like, what I feel about things, and, you know, I'm just here to express my opinion. You know, you guys don't gotta agree with me. Nobody has to agree with me. I'm kind of just yapping at the end of the day, so, whatever. Anyways, the point of this video, or what I wanted to talk about, is why I feel like tattoo artists are wrong about numbing cream, because generally speaking, I feel like tattoo artists, I feel like numbing cream gets a really bad stigma in the community, especially since it's been something that's been like on the rise. I feel like, I don't know too much about numbing cream like 10, 15, 20 years ago, especially back then and nothing like that. I don't think there was stuff like that. Could be wrong. You guys could let me know. So I wanted to talk about this today, and excuse me. So one thing I wanted to point out that I think is fucking dumb is I hate in the tattoo community how people really boast about, like, so my first point, I hate it when people boast about their pain tolerance, because you're always gonna hear somebody be like, yeah, I had this 8-hour session on my fucking back and I didn't feel a thing, I fell asleep. Or I got my knee drilled and I got this sick tattoo and I didn't feel a thing and I was perfectly fine and I sat still, and, you know, or like, you know, I did these tattoos for these long hours, whatever, blah, blah, and I was in pain, but I enjoyed it. You know, isn't that, to each their own? That's my point, to each their own. But, like, at the same time, it's like, I feel like just because your pain tolerance is high, that doesn't mean, like, okay, like, you want a fucking cookie, my nigga? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, like, what the fuck? Like, just because you can tolerate it doesn't mean everybody can. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the point, is I feel like for some people that have really bad pain tolerance or very low pain tolerance, like, it's like, why are you gonna subject yourself to that pain? Like, just because you can sit through a fucking 8-hour tattoo and be perfectly fine doesn't mean that the next person is gonna be able to. And I hate it when people say, like, oh, you gotta earn your tattoo or whatever. It's like, bro, we're just getting the tattoo to get it. Like, if we can avoid the fucking pain that comes with getting a tattoo, like, why the fuck not? Like, why shouldn't that be an option? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if you want to fucking sit through a tattoo and just fucking thug it out, ooh, do that shit, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, it's your body, your choice, which is gonna be one of my future fucking points that I'm gonna get to later in the video. But I just don't understand, like, you know, there are generally people that might have health issues with their skin, or they might have some sort of condition that might, like, you know, might make them fucking sit through a tattoo really bad and make them really shaken. It's like, do you think that these people shouldn't get a tattoo because their body's different than yours? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think. I don't think that because you have a high pain tolerance, whatever the fuck, like, you know, that like, just because you do doesn't mean other people do. So why should they be shamed for getting something that will help them sit through their tattoo? You know what I'm saying? So that's my first point. My second point is that, from my experience, because I've used it and I've sat through, like, pretty much all these tattoos here on my arms, I've sat through them with no numbing cream. So my second point is that numbing cream makes the tattoo better for both parties. Now, this is if, obviously, you gotta let your tattoo artist know ahead of time that you're gonna use numbing cream, you know what I'm saying? Because depending on the shading in the area, what I understand is that it can be a little bit more difficult to shade in if you do use numbing cream. When it comes to line work, from what I know from these tattoo artists, line work is fine for numbing cream, but, like, once you get into the shading, you might have to, like, put in, like, more, I wouldn't say more effort, I don't know, it's something like that. Like I said, I'm not a professional. Like I said, this is just me speaking on my experience and what I think. But generally speaking, if you're gonna be in a really bad area, like let's say for example your chest, your knees, your fucking neck, your back, the back of the knees, like all these painful ass spots. I feel like if you can use it and your tattoo artist is okay with it, it's even better. Because I'm gonna give you an example. When I went to go get my line work done for my chest tattoo, bro, I was fucking, bro, it was really painful. First of all, it's probably the most pain I've ever been in my life. But I was fucking shaking so much. And that's probably also a result of me not getting maybe prepared enough. Maybe I didn't eat enough food. Maybe I didn't have like, sugar, like, my sugar intake, whatever. Maybe that made it worse for me. But the point is that the pain was just fucking unbearable. And I was like, there's no way I'm coming for my next chest tattoo session and just sit through the whole fucking thing. I'm sorry. So I was like, you know what? I gotta look for some type of alternative and just to make things a little bit easier, because not only am I fucking shaking like putting a fucking boot in a washing machine and it's fucking spazzing. Not only am I going through that, but at the same time it's like then my tattoo artist has to lock it even more, and then we gotta take more breaks and shit like that. So me personally, I feel like tattoo numbing cream is really valid for that point. Like if you just want to sit through your tattoo and just not tweak and just not have any issues, like why the fuck not? Like why shouldn't that be a thing? I mean, it makes it better for both parties. You're not in pain, and then your tattoo artist can work quicker and he can work more proficient. He or she can work more proficient, and yeah. So it's just like, I don't know. I feel like that makes it even better to use, because it's like, I mean, you're not in pain, you're not in suffering, and then your tattoo artist they can work fast and they can work easier. So, but I get it. Some people do like it, some people don't. I think, like I said, my biggest issue with it is just like, I just don't like how certain people in the community, like, yeah, that they fucking boast about their fucking pain tolerance, and they're like, you should earn your tattoo, or you shouldn't be getting tattoos if you can't sit for one. It's like, bro, like, who gives a fuck? Like, people just want to get art on their bodies. Some people want to suffer, some people don't. Boom. Like, what somebody does with their body is their choice, which is what leads me to my next point. Point number 3, your body, your rules. So I don't think, and personally speaking, I don't think anybody should be shamed for using numbing cream, because like I said earlier, I mean, some people have different health issues. Some people have fucking skin conditions. Some people have, they might have a condition that makes it, that they can't sit through pain, or like, I'm saying, all this stuff. There's so many factors that go into play for why somebody might use numbing cream. And I think that to judge somebody just because they don't want to sit through pain, like why? Like, why are you judging them? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any fucking sense. I think people should just do whatever the fuck they want with their bodies. They should fucking, talk to their tattoo artist if they're cool with it. If not, then alright, cool, like, don't use it. But I feel like a majority of the time, depending on where you go, I feel like a majority of tattoo artists are gonna be okay with it, just because it's like, like I said on my second point, like, it makes it easier for both parties. Like, you're fucking tweaking less, you're not shaking as much, or you're not in pain, and then your tattoo artist can just work smoother because they don't have to deal with you fucking like, you know what I'm saying? Like, like, bro, if y'all can see the video of me when I was fucking tweaking, bro, when I was fucking on that fucking table tweaking on my chest tattoo, bro, it was awful, bro. So like I said, if you don't want to sit through the pain, I fully understand. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, all right, you know what, to side with the other side a little bit. I think that, if you really want to, like I said, get some tattoos and do it without it. See how that feels for you. If you feel like it's too fucking difficult, get the numbing cream, bro. Who gives a fuck? And then talk to your tattoo artist about it. See if they're cool with it, and then go from there. I don't think anybody should be getting shamed. I don't like all those people online that be like, oh, I sat through my 10-hour fucking knee session and I was fine, so you don't need numbing cream. Anybody who uses numbing cream is a pussy. Like, nah, bro. Like, shut the fuck up. First of all, like, shut the fuck up. Like, let people do whatever the fuck they want. You know what I'm saying? But with everything you do in life, you're gonna get judged regardless. Like, so just fucking, in my opinion, if you use numbing cream for tattoos, perfectly fine for you. Do whatever is best for you. Don't listen to what nobody online or whatever, people have to say negatively about it. If your tattoo artist is cool with it, bro, full send that shit. Because I've already gotten fucking plenty of tattoos on my shit, you feel me? And at this point, I get the pain. Like, I understand the pain. I know what the fuck I'm gonna be sitting through. I know my pain tolerance is certain, from by now. And most tattoos, I'd say like 90% of my tattoos I've gotten, besides my chest tattoo, have all been without numbing cream. So at this point, you can argue I've fucking earned, my tattoos. And it's just like, what if I don't want to fucking sit through the pain anymore and deal with all that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I digress. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just kind of, this was kind of just my opinion. I was thinking about this shit the other day, and I see this discourse online a lot, like whether people like tattoo numbing cream or not. I mean, my opinion is just that, you know, you shouldn't judge somebody because you don't know what they have. They're a whole different person than you. And because they're using numbing cream, like they have their own personal reasons, you shouldn't step into that. You shouldn't judge somebody else for what they do with their body, like I said. So, that's my opinion. Like I said, to each their own. If you want to sit through fucking 8 grueling and miserable hours of fucking, you know, tattoo, of getting your fucking knee blasted or getting your back tattoo or whatever, if you want to sit through that and deal with the pain, all right, cool. But if somebody else doesn't want to fucking sit through that and they want to have a decent time and just talk to their artist and while they do this, all right, let them be, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get that shit. Like, people online be making like the ill arguments about it. Be like, oh, bro, you're a fucking pussy if you use numbing cream. Like, I did it. Like, bro, who gives a fuck, bro? Like, bro, that shit genuinely fries me. Like, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Genuinely, who cares, bro? Let people do whatever the fuck they want, bro. Like, oh my god, bro, that shit genuinely makes me tight, bro. But anyways, so I mean, we're coming up on like 12 minutes right now on this YouTube video, but that's basically all I wanted to talk about. My opinions on why I like tattoo numbing cream, why I think people should use it. You know, if you don't want to use it, cool. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Like I said, your body, your choice. You do whatever you want. So that's kind of it for this video. If you guys have any opinions, if you guys think tattoo numbing cream is cool, if you guys don't fuck with it, you know, let me know why in the comments. You know, I'm fully all ears. You know, I listen to both sides. You know, I've heard both sides. You know, fucking tattoo numbing cream is good, tattoo numbing cream is bad, whatever and that. Like I said, I'm just talking about my opinion. Who gives a fuck about my opinion? I'm just speaking to the internet. Who gives a fuck? But yeah, so like I said, if you guys have anything to say in the comments, please let me know. And yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. And you should be seeing another video from me pretty soon. I have some other ideas on my phone that I'm looking at right now. Yeah, I have some other ideas. And I'm cooking up stuff, so you guys probably should see something later in the week. Maybe later in the week or whenever I decide to edit this video and get it up there. I'll probably edit this video and upload it later in the week. And then go from there. So, alright, yeah, that's pretty much it for me. So, like I said, guys, feel free to leave some comments about your opinions on this topic. And like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys another time. Peace.